Hello, Nerds for Christ. Jacob speaking here. So today, I thought we'd go back to a little bit more nerdy um, dungeons, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. you know, get into um, the dice rolling, the character sheet making, the storytelling. So I'm reviewing the D&D's paint set. I used to be into Warhammer back in the day, so I've got a lot of experience painting, particularly painting miniatures. Can't say I'm the best, but I also can't say I'm the worst either. So, just wanted to review these for you guys. I was actually really impressed by these. Real quick, I'll show you the prices and tell you everything you need to know and what you'll get in them. So, first off, you have the Underdark paint set. I knew it had a title, so I had to find it, which comes with a variety of colors, and the colors you need to paint Dritz. So a fan favorite from Forgotten Realms. The set is $19.99, and I will talk about that price point here in a bit. But I also wanted to show you the other set, which is the Adventure paint set. And you've got an assortment of different colors as well. And you have Misk and Boo, which is also another fan favorite for Forgotten Realms as well. And this one is a little bit more expensive, and I'm guessing, it's the one that comes with a brush, which is a funny story. I'll talk about as well. Short funny story. So when I got mine in the mail, and I was looking them over, and they come in a kind of a nice little plastic. I guess I should enlarge the picture so you guys can see. That would help, wouldn't it? Okay, so as you can see, they come in like a plastic molding to keep them in place, and the box is snug enough that they're not going to bounce around and get out. So, that's just a nice little plus. I mean, nothing fancy. I mean, some people probably just like get these paints, then right away just like throw out the plastic. So you get in each box you get the one free model, and in this one you get 10 paints, and this one is also 10 paints as well. So, you get 20 paints in total for basically $40. Want to round it up, basically say $45 after taxes and shipping and all that. So, as far as paint goes, quality-wise, I'd say this is a really high-quality paint. One con about it, though, is a lot of reviewers or people I've seen paint with it, you really have to shake it. You want to shake it. I've really seen the difference between like a little bit of a lazy shake and pour some out and then try to paint with it, comparative to a really shaking it and getting it ready to put on your plate, whatever you're using to maybe mix your colors or just get your setup ready. So where that's a kind of a con is if you're familiar with painting at all or painting miniatures, your hands get tired after a while, and if you're sitting there every 20 minutes because you don't want to pour out too much paint, so you're just pouring out what you think you need, and you just keep going back to it after a while. You're killing your wrists or your arms. So it's a little bit annoying, but it's an unfortunate. It's just a small con, really. That you really have to shake the bottles good. As far as drying out goes, as you can see, I got these around. Oh wait, no, I guess you can't see. I need to remember. I got to shrink the video. I'm not important in this part. Come on. Okay. So as you can see, I got them around September 9th, and then I got this one September 11th. So I've kept them for the most part in the box, and I got this little bag to keep them in that fits perfectly at Walmart. It's actually a lunch pail, but I'm not doing a review on this, but it's a really nice lunch pail actually. And it would just fit perfect with all my little box of all my paints and stuff. So that was just a nice little coincidence. But so I've kept them in the box, kept them in a pretty good temperatured environment, not too hot, not too cold. And none of them have dried out. I painted like a week ago, so As far as that goes, I think they will hold up. Just make sure you keep your lids tight, not too tight, so you can unscrew them. But and also one note is in the adventure paint set compared to the Underdark paint set, you get a brush in the one set. You do not get a brush in the other set, and it will drive you crazy if you don't pay attention because you'll be sitting there looking for your other brush, and it is a good brush. But if you don't maintain or keep your brush, or your brush is clean and kept, it's gonna wear. It's pretty fine, though there are finer brushes, and I would suggest you probably pick up a set of finer brushes. Yeah, probably the single brush could do the job alone, but it would probably take a while, and constantly rinsing it and changing colors, so it would definitely do some wear and tear on it. So I highly suggest pick up a cheap set for $5-10. And make sure you get a really fine one. Sometimes you can take an old brush too and just trim it down with a pair of scissors to get like a single hair or two, and just use that for really fine details. And as far as the paint itself goes, it covers well. It comes also, the sets come with a primer, and I highly suggest, unless your miniatures are pre-primed, put the primer on it, whether it's a spray can primer or like a pre-paint primer. Now, obviously the spray primers are a lot easier. If you've got a lot of miniatures to do in a short amount of time, use a spray can primer, get it done, let them sit, and then paint them. And it's a smart idea. When you get these, don't just bust them out and paint them. Rinse off your figure. It's gonna have molding or factory chemicals, whatever they've used to probably put it in a mold and then pull it out or whatever. I'm not sure the process, but I'm willing to bet they probably have some sort of residue left on them, and they've probably done their best to clean them, but it won't hurt. Rinse it off with some water, let it dry, let it sit, and you'll be painting it within a half hour or so or less. The paint goes on really nice. I like the texture of the paint. It's kind of I'm not sure how I would describe it, but kind of reminds me a little bit of like a gel, but still more like a paint. It's not quite like acrylic, so if you work with acrylic, it's not quite like that, and I would say it's kind of comparative to the other paints for miniatures out there. I'm not going to name any particular companies because one of them particularly likes to sue a lot of people, so I'm going to avoid mentioning them as best I can. But I have to say though, if you were to look up a single bottle, there's really a premium on single bottles. If you need a single individual color, you're looking at $4 or $5 for basically any brand. You might find a single color on sale, or like an ugly color, as some would say, for a cheaper price. But I mean, if you're saying $5 per paint, you're getting 10 for 20. Whereas it would have been $50, you're saving like $30. So, 20 paints for $40. As it sounds expensive, it's really not. And that if you know anything about painting miniatures, that is. Another thing is, I will warn that, and this is, I've experienced this with all paints, so don't think there's anything wrong with the paint. When you have your miniature and you're kind of painting them and you kind of rotate them or hold like a tip of the area, like maybe their head or something, and you rotate it, you're probably going to wear that part bald. So just be aware that it's not the paint's problem, it's the fact that you're holding it to the same position, you keep rotating it. Like whether it's the tip of the sword, you're holding them, and then the base with your thumb, or whatever way you do it. Some people don't hold them all, some people just lay them down on a desk and get down close and paint them. But just be aware that it's not a paint con, it's the fact that you're rotating it, holding it in the same spot. You're allowing your oils and your heat of your hands to basically rub off not completely set and dry paint. Now, so that's just one of those things I wanted to mention, so no one thinks that, I've got bad quality paint because it keeps rubbing off on my hands. No, you just keep rotating it with heat and oil and all this stuff. So it is a really good price. I mean, I dare you to find a better quality set for the price point they're going for here. Um, and I'll show you some pictures as I'm talking. I'll pop them up on the screen for you guys to look at. I'm not the best painter in the world, like I said, but you know, get an idea of what kind of you can do with the paint. And like I said, in my opinion, it's just good quality. And you know, I mean, this is basically you can do this. I think I came pretty close. I changed up his colors a little bit, but I mean, this is quality work. And obviously, you know, they had a professional come in and do this. But still, if you take your time, you know, and don't get frustrated easily, you know, this is the kind of quality you can do, and it can accomplish, I think. And then one suggestion, and this doesn't have anything to do with the set, just for people out there, if you're going to paint your miniatures and you want to say seal them, really think about whether you want to use matte finish or a gloss finish. You know, and take a look online of pictures of, or maybe you have friends who do painting too, and you know, take a look whether you want to decide to do either or. And also, don't go heavy on finishes, because especially white, if you do too much of a finish to kind of seal your paint, so you know it doesn't chip off or smear later down the line or get dirty, or just, you know, keeping it safe from oils and stuff, it can kind of get a yellow tinge, especially on lighter colors, and that's only really if you put it on really thick. So be mindful of your layers, and you know, also be mindful whether you want to pick the choice of matte or gloss. There's really no right choice. I personally am a matte person. I don't like the shine, but you know, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I know other people out there who like the gloss, so you know, nothing against them. But yeah, that's my review on these. If you're looking for starting up, these are perfect sets. You know, they come with the miniature. They even come with little guides inside of how to paint them. So, though I would say, though, probably get the adventure paint set first, because it comes with a brush. So it is everything you need, whereas this one doesn't come with a brush. But I'm assuming if you're probably getting into this, you probably have brushes picked out or already have them at home, or planning to buy some. So, again, you know, if you're looking to paint miniatures or get into it, I highly suggest these. And even if you already have been painting miniatures for forever and you need to restock up on paints and colors, these are a great option as well too. I will say the one thing that's probably slightly annoying though is, since they've taken really important colors, and this is even really a con, this is just kind of basic. Obviously, they've taken some important colors, and they'll tell you each on the back. You kind of split them up. So, you know, you kind of do need both sets if you want some color. Now, you can kind of, you know, mix and match to your best ability. And you can look up guides on that online and stuff, how to get good quality colors by mixing and stuff. And not just with this, but just with painting in general. But I think that's everything I've got on these. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've purchased these and if you think they're quality as well, or if you think they're garbage or trash. Just leave comments in the comment section, and hope everyone's staying safe, and God bless.